jo barzo dani japson je dage jinso jebe sonam dola benje sanje do baraisho je je dan zo je sonam la janjo barzo dani japson je dage jinso jebe sonam je dola benje sanje do baraisho sanje jodon zoje zonam lo janjo bardo dani jasanje nage jinzo jebe zonam je ndola benje sanje ndoba. From now until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, and may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. From now until enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings.
troche pameki lela juwe dibe troche pe goene ji fonja angzer sonres tate karzene dibe tro posedi ani ngora oye kon kha chwa yende kin tenji yo mares zemo zojer dujor chajor dujor la ani be chi lengam basaya diba mogo chola khataya oda tenji chekin jina chi hajo yulde kazuchi 제 만세당 졸람이야마야 그제요 말이 소소 애니 ngandong에서 낼 튀겨라 텔레 리피트 보이스거레스 리피트 고 포지션다요 말스 순거레스 빙괴네 나지 빵거레스 괴네 지네 때서 민두고 말와 와다 때나 진짜네 네베 소소 오네 잠베 미지 니 챌린지 아니 대화 중인지나 된대기 미 네베 세 차존 루저 라네베 dipala tingi tendiki mitangim to roju amarse sunguares.
In the advice book by Kundana Rinpoche, one of his advice was there's a verse in which he begins with the saying, non-virtuous friend, they do not appear with like horns and so on and so forth. So here he is kind of advising us to be careful with whom we spend our time with and influences from our kind of friends. And when we talk about negative or non-virtuous friend, it doesn't necessarily mean that what Kondana Rinpoche is saying here doesn't necessarily mean that they have external appearances of like a demon, that they don't necessarily has to have horns and fangs and kind of very kind of devilish look, but somebody with whom when you spend time with. Maybe fun, maybe just kind of nice time, but if you are getting influence in such a way that you are leading towards creating more negative activities, leading sort of inclining towards indulging in more destructive actions, then those are truly negative, non-virtuous friends, regardless of how physically, their appearances might be. And for those kind of friends, he advised here that we should be avoiding as if we avoid contagious disease. That's what he advised here.
어다 딘디 숭고야 돼. 오늘 리바 미가 와서라 카 초지. 도전 리바 집에나 경가래. 단디 애니페 지 초지니 용고불안 사비용시 그래. 초인이 소소 애니페 랭감바 망고 사네. 쳔디자마데 치마 펜제니 애니 동알디 나티 장기와 인상 리바 미게베 레데 직사 서서나 님부터지고는 샤파 맞이나 다이어트는 자원이니요 말이 딘디부 탈도 요거래 와다배 진다와의 레지가 디부 탈도 요거를 그루세 손 나신지기 좀 된데 되나라 와다 레직 간디지잖아 레디긴 디부 샤범전에 마다바이나 딘디부터 탈도 요거래 와다 로빈처라고 유소발란데 게마 지수보바 간인데서 손 나신지네 유초소나 디부탈도 용과이 용 기여 와다 디졸리지네 직코 치만 펜지 간동안 손아 동체 뒤링고 질라 동알기 뛴다기여자 와다 티지니 지기와 말해서 순고하러 봐도 진다게 말해스 딘디가라 딘디기 랍자들라 수수 이dom체네 뭐자 투베고네 이dom체네 가서 투두 랍자 되게들라 즉 예수 장제 에는 네 집에는 개변들랑 거예요.
The reason why he advised us like this in this verse, advice as we mentioned before, we are not intentionally kind of engaging in negative activities, but along the way with our friends, we create all kind of negative karmic actions, and when creating a negative karmic actions, temporarily it is not beneficial, and as well as in long term, there's great disadvantages or negative result. And so unless and until you apply antidotes and 4 powerful antidotes, and you didn't do a purification, so one must experience the result of karmic action, as we see in Buddha's own sutra, his own teaching. He talks about in cause and effect precepts, whatever karmic action that we created, we must experience the result, respectively. And also Dharmakirti, in his text, he talks about once you have gathered causes and factors and conditions, then it is must that there will be a result. So having kind of listened to this kind of advices, it's for our own sake, for our own benefit, for our own happiness. It's good for us to listen and practice and implement as much as we can, because the reason here is ultimately you are the one who is going to benefit from this kind of advices.
zambulan chulu mangbu jibe nani chulu jinanla gyuzin tenin rongenji ripa kyandala tenin rongenji oda nangba ta moni chagware tindi gyuzin tenin rugiya inza tinsan tsenri pada nambani chi kodruche mangbuji yungware gyuzin mate chini ani tepa kyangkyangla jisun roina namba tsenri pada 직하기 풍반염십제는 로트비아 백하버레스 딘디가라 직문이 겸건 무지 가서도 가서 숨고 당만한서 남바 카장기 남배 철이 이나 당문이 리벨람니 다샤 쳐야 용이 세면로다 기토니 에니베 텔람바된 텐주디 남발란 남바페 이ገል캅던데 남비 리중 망부지베나니 귤 약쇼데 딘상 마란츠 베기 나초데 귤 약쇼를 시기도 What the Tending Tending Guria Wojina, any bay, Dong, any Tiba Tumoni, Jengi, Sanga, any bay, Portu, yes, again. Tape Nambe Chedi, Zoo Sutubina, Zoo Chazang, you and Deginji, breaking nothing to Chadio. I think only Chazang. I knew Vinci Chogoni, Chevainanda. Sotargin Doni is in Yamnenchine. Sanga Lamiki Portuda, Yamnenchia, Gentana, then Sawan in your mare. What on Japan Tebaina, Totoso, Jegu Corgi, Dan, Najurgu Cormado, Lame Midoa. Any Page Saja Mambuchila, any Sotargin Dochibu, Yamnenchia Mother, Shiramidoa. What a Tindi in the Gala, Shibuji, Mazu Begita. Shigya Koma Enipe Lozawa Digiti So Lue Tanje Yungobo Kazu in a Shiji Enipe Chete Jagan Pitabo Shibuji Tamoni Jagala Titiki Tape Chuzo Mason Na Chisode Nalenta Chayare Nalente Kebu Wombo than the Denijide Enipe Jagarki Pentita to Polepe, Sangi Temba Yurimunia Tontala, Polepe, Shantarakshita Low, Duju Pene, any Peki Chana says, Jangong Sua. Can you do the college Japshaka, Tanda, any pay, Pegi, to be 1% amidu, keep 1% amidu, Pigiti Kankape, Kalatamazon so much in Yadiore. That thing around so, as long the mother jet to be not.
Among many different faiths and religions, one of the unique features in Buddhism we see is, relying upon analysis, reasoning, and then kind of debating, and for that reason, as many of you know nowadays, there are lots of discussions among Buddhist scholars, practitioners, and scientists, and faith alone probably won't be enough to kind of engage in dialogue with the modern scientific scholars and experts. And so His Holiness talks about Buddhism that we have right now being having an ability coming to the conclusion through analysis examination, relying upon valid cognitions. And the translations that is available in Tibetan language is the complete form of translations of Buddhism that was exist in ancient India. So complete form, in a sense, it has it contains the practices and methods and teachings of all three vehicles. You can say beginning from the teachings of Four Noble Truth or individual liberation vows up to the highest teachings of Vajrayanas, system of teaching. And unlike in many other Buddhist nations, like in Japan, they do practice Vajrayana teachings, but not all of them, but some kind of parts of it, like action, and behavior kind of tantra, not highest yoga tantra. And in many countries, others we find teaching is primarily based on individual liberation kind of sutra, but lacking kind of higher vehicle teachings and its content. And so the teachings that we have right now is obviously the result of great dedication and hard work of the past Tibetan religious kings and great learned translators, and they have done everything, even kind of sacrificing their own lives in order to sort of invite and receive complete form of Buddhist teachings from India. And at that time in India, the highest, the best sort of university, most well known, one of them was Nalanda University. And when we look back, we see many of the scholars, great scholars, Buddhist scholars from Nalanda universities were invited to Tibet. And the text translations and Indian masters such as His Holiness says, great masters like Shantideva, Shanti Rakshita, came to Tibet, but at the very kind of high age. But he learned Tibetans when he started learning Tibetan when he was 70 years old. What the translations that we have, the teachings in Tibetan that we have right now is like a kind of complete form, already kind of prepared. It's like a fresh and everything prepared and very kind of convenient to put into practice if we take this kind of opportunity. So therefore it's worthwhile, and there's a great benefit if we take this opportunity of putting into practice what we have.
Didan rendege junkangai lung tang dewa inza peja mangbo jungwa mogajin digan tone enbe gyabegi kidu temi womba taza to tuyege dendegi tunji zachim shadi gares ngaranzu dandadi lojongdiana wada tila sosue zondi zombe top geje nin kaso tuptuji dichene eni nyamnen chigina pendo yung gares eni da kezandiri ma lo hose.
The text that we are studying, mind training like the rays of the sun, as we mentioned earlier, is part of the teachings that was that came down from the great Kadamba masters, and easy to read. Just like prepared food, ready to eat and drink. And although it is a one small text, yet it contains sort of teachings, from both great masters of Indian as well as Tibetan, practitioners. So everything kind of combined into short, precise, clear text that you don't have to look for many different kind of sources or citations. So everything is in one page, very easy to kind of practice. So it would be highly beneficial if you kind of take this opportunity and practice this text. So we will continue with the reading of the text.
Nipa chanchu dongiki chanchu ki sim jongwa ni tedar chamni je jangwe tetabu musu tumni ba te kama ye nyam nas nyaran ra chomba da ni chembo namdang saju chanchu seba chembo namlang jendengi tile simgi mikyaba ngame onjang kurwa chisi par hundu yumi chegi gone chudun rere zam sumbadang ozar nare zam ngepala theni kyang semchen dhameba nyangala gonibe kobang sangi nyach inlas termaze arhandon pondon tarchumbe kopang yang sangi nyachidu zepe dangi gi simchen tamche gi tondu tongi tarchimbar chi sangi gi kopang topor chao nyamdu jang sed wadati chik sungdo wadati ngone ngaranzu tanda lojong yagi jungde chanju semjong chadugala ota ngone tongi dobel tawa shidib ni nyimbo royade chanju ki semla ten rale digare 장주기 셈디 요이나 젠덴 밤에 룬두기나 상기기 애니베 틀리 유미치디 요와 틀리 니르니요레 대나네 저놈 집에 레다니스데 애니베 두자니 지we 코방라 티야데 틀리 땅보들이 대양 상기 냐질라마노 사지비 장주 세발라 사tumbol레네 장주 세발라 요 말에 냐란다 좀 발레 요 말에 대까지 갔다 말에 디 용다 가르잖아 상기라 캠비 이싱아디요나 뒤숭기 애니베 최탐제 라틴도 잡아나진디 시기 여인자 킹기 여인자 애니베 최라 강라 강되기 애니베 누제로당 참비 추숭고 아래 뒤숭이도 갈라 남바 상기비 두탈라 두타 지용과야 와다 로람딩 타숨나 밤에 두타마와 시 타와 애니베 타라 로라 빠베고네 숭구에다 오다 타와 타라고네 두타마와 시 아니 즉 파기 로게 치중구고네 아니 로라 빠베지 숭구에 디차니 기부에네 아람디 타숨 와다페 롱오네 첸디점지라 애니페 즉 삼로에 니연데게 첸디점지 민돈 초비지 미지지 꺄야 요이 디람 때문에 인상 미기 주홍기 소림지대 애니티게네 미기 주게 애니페 디바 빵당 루지다 첸디라 애니페 꺄와 치마 애니페 운톨라다 미 고방두야지 덴디스테이나 기부충고 와다 대자메 뇽mol라 견도 타네 아니 타바 두지지 덴디 로게토 스야체요 근다 기분딩 아니 델레네베 미바 카캡 기심쟁이 동알 장대요니 장주기 셈 에네베 덴디기 장주 다스 기부치미 초콜라 좋아요인데 근데라 아니 장주기 셈단데니 미네비 냥델은 거야게 루스 제디가라 코 탑기 전에 로게 치중고네 아니 기부숨디 텀바레 아니 따와 차라게 전에 아니 도다바 마지도 두스통이야래 디코 롤라렘바디 킹게요 인상 독스전에 빼 숨고 중과 왔다 들이 너가 좀 된데 뭐네 탑게부 투시 전부 김비 이신 나데 있는 두스진 손으로 마도 이제 급에 왕기 손샤겨 세지 차디요 왔다 들이 있는 거라 디 뭐네 상기기 가서 왔다 만집 상기기 틀레 아니 상기기 탑락해봐 와다 때리시스고도 와다 네 옌즈 숨그리 탑락해봐 시야데 간데지리 부글 제모쟁 부글 답에 녀자 쟁인 부글 룽에 디기 미 기부데 간데지고 와 부글 로다 참바지네 제모제 부글 로다 참바지네 배기 부글 제제투비 있나 부구대에 배 가신지네 아니 먹는 데투와 와다 때나신지네 아니 부구라 로다 참바지 맞았지 아니 팀지지 와다 독수리 따진 나이나 부구 간닝 말와 부구 남자디 대섬시 니어 말와 나라서 부구 녀자 징인데 부구 로다 참바지 자와지 제투비나 부구대 살로나 팽겨래 부구 남자라 팽겨래 부구라 일라 탑라케 봐 시와래 부구 녀상 개바 인상 탑락해봐. 때난지 좀 된데기 나랑서 둘자 람딩 탈숨데 애니베 롤라 참바지 수 인상 애니 탑락해봐. 최대한 탑락해봐. 와다 두스네 숭도 배던도 수저게도 와. 와다 덴디지리.
If you have a same book, it's on page 80. The process of cultivating the awakened mind, concerned with attaining the fully awakened state of mind. You might wonder what a practical love and compassion could be. Great beings like the hearers, solitary realizers, and great bodhisattvas on the 10th stage possess boundless virtues enabling them to work for the welfare of other beings. Nevertheless, only by attaining the state of enlightenment can they place innumerable beings in the state beyond suffering, spontaneously and uninterruptedly until the end of cyclic existence, by emitting one ray of light or giving one session of discourse. In addition, it is only as the Buddha that you acquire perfection of your own personal fulfillment of abandonment and insight. Understanding this, you should train yourself, thinking, quote, I shall attain enlightenment to fulfill the aims of both myself and all sentient beings, unquote. So what we see here is, as you know, this text belongs to the part of generating or training or attaining, altruistic mind. And mind training of altruism or through altruism. And with the altruistic mind, even, altruistic mind with like wisdom of emptiness can even use as antidotes or for highest obscurations, most subtlest obscurations, like cognitive obscurations. And so here it talks about the unique qualifications of enlightened being or Buddhahood, unlike those practitioners who reach at the high levels, such as hearers, solitary realizers, or even level of ground 10. And only Buddha has these kind of qualifications, from many different activities or benefiting sentient beings, able to benefit others to attain Buddhahood too. And this is because of Buddha's possessions of what we call omniscient mind, knowing nature of reality, how they exist, and in what way they exist, as if everything is in his kind of in his palm, and able to teach accordingly, according to the necessity or mental dispositions of different disciples. Because of this reason, we have 4 different school of thoughts or 4 tenets, and 4 school of thoughts or 4 tenets are based on the different levels of subtleties of philosophy or concept, and based on the mental capability or ability. We have teachings for 3 different types of person: small, medium, and high. And those 3 teachings based on the 3 different followers or audiences. For example, somebody who is really kind of oriented towards a higher rebirth, to attain another human rebirth or higher, and for those the teachings were very much focused upon maintaining an ethical discipline related with abstaining from 10 negative activities. So that is the teaching for like a low scope according to their ability and capability or capacity. And then there are another whole sets of teachings for people of medium scope or middling capacity, those who want to attain liberation from psychic existence. And then according to the necessity, there are whole another higher level of teachings, teachings based on the practice of altruism, bodhicitta, which ultimately can lead to the highest enlightenment, and that is intended for the disciples of high scope or like great scope practitioners. And so in brief, we can see Buddha's kind of showing the different methods as well as different philosophies for the to fit different mental dispositions of followers, and for that reason we use this kind of expression, Buddha possessing a skillful method as well as great compassionate mind. And Krishna is saying his teacher used to cite this example: somebody who is really good at taking care of children or toddlers. Those people would be they kind of treat in such a way that they can communicate, they can understand the necessity or desire of young children. So the better you understand, according to their level of understanding, the more better will be communication. So you can keep a child, for long hours with you, kind of entertain without kind of crying. But on the other hand, if you use your own thought and opinion and force that on children, probably that won't work. And so having a skillful means is doing what is necessary for the intended, the audience, like here, the small children. So that kind of, treatment, doing according to the level or needed or necessity of the children, that would be much more better for the, development of that particular children's, understanding or knowledge. Likewise, in here, one of the unique qualification of enlightened being that we see in here is Buddha's unique skill in showing different teachings, different philosophies according to the necessity of different, audiences.
다 맞죠 장주기 셈 마키바 귤리 깨와지 깨와도 냠바메 바지 어떤 수치니 된리인데 딱 오니 장주 셈 정도 쉬우지 내 첨보당 내가 첨보당 깨 첨보당 아니 대야 즉에 가르쳐래 이 장주기 셈들라 코 유대양 아니 베 닌제당 애니베 참바 니가 이 우유 인상 이 니가 장고와 인도가라 다 쉬우지 귤레 게 가고 쉬우지 임발라 양직 수수 매주집에나 로신이 깨사 말았으나 게응그래 세대 가담 고막이 숨기는 때니 숨고 알아서디 김그럼 숨도와 왔다 때니 이거라 게롱 क्या था बारे दियो रे ngaraang su gyula lerung su diyo re tinzi nga su janggu re se wata kulong dini dini ji ne samtang de samtang gu re sangi ko ba thobe ga ton ta la ni janju gi sem jang gi samlo de ta la ko re ta ti ta ne jan dini gi kulong ji kebe ko ta ne lo jang ina 파인 가래 요래 시디가라 어니 파인도 수는 어다디 즉 장주기 샘승인데 할레베 파인 첨부 어다디니 수도와 델타보 장주기 샘종기 파인 빠진기 주발레스 장주 샘기 선함 갈텐디니 주체나 남게 공 남게 캄니 군 강세 디니테네 라퍼키루스 강게체메 장인기 사기진기 징남 민강기 린진군기 랍거데 지텐콜레 풀와웨 강게 탈모 자르기데스 장주 투니 셈투나 초반디니 캐퍼바 넬라타네 마치소 저 오다 딘리기 파인 빠드메가 숨도와 다즉 원이 남카즈니 간디 양식 갸쳐와리 오다 디게데 내전에 춘춘 차그레 시두갈라 항 사해지로와 오다 강게체맹이 스킨데 델레짱다 즉 딘데 장가게야데 상기 냐지기 틀리려 말아 투 미즈베 gengi 콜레 라 과지잖아 오다 디주 또수 로 바브리 마다 때마다 가고 싶으리 상기에 구숨 gengi 콜로 제기라 숨 미즈베 gengi 콜로 투 미즈베 gengi 콜로 구 미즈베 gengi 콜로 제기도 와 gengi 콜로 숨 오다 투 미즈베 gengi 콜로 되나 다디 강갈로게 제만이 상기 남기 민강게 린쟁군지 랍건데 지든 권레 풀와웨 강게 탈마자게 장주초도 섬게데 저반데니 캐브라바 디니타니 마치 소세야데 딱 과지 오늘 차도 그래 이제 오늘 레그래 오늘 사이엘라 덴데기 투 켐바 라쳔보지 베 로통다 망보 생인 들지 에네베 이 켄투위야나 다디 제만이 이 트란당에 베네베 베 덴데기 장주기 셈이 요즘지게나 덴디 장당에 베네베 소남 계기디 로 미치야 땡땡 용어 말 어다 두스지니 용구하레시 딘두가라 tu miziba yengi khullo de ngana zo 상기기 투기 연된 차대요. 어떻게 인도가라 데라 아니 배 가서 툭툭지 원바셔네 사람만 보시고 어떻게 이 하는 양도 디게나 상기를 밀어볼 때 밖에 그래. 어떻게 개발해요.
So as mentioned before, altruism or awakening mind or bodhicitta is inevitable in attaining enlightenment, and especially in eliminating the highest or subtlest level of obscuration, cognitive obscuration. To eliminate that, on top of wisdom realizing emptiness, one has to have, altruistic mind. So it becomes inevitable, extremely kind of crucial in attaining enlightenment. And looking back at the immediate cause of the or seed of the altruism, we find compassion and loving kindness. And so although this kind of altruistic mind or bodhicitta might seems to be extremely far and difficult to attain at this moment, but through effort it can be totally possible, as we see kind of mentioned by His Holiness citing quotes from Kadamba's master's instruction. And so these positive qualities, the way they exist, as we mentioned many times, they exist in such a way that they can be totally kind of attainable by us. And so this altruism is inevitable kind of for attaining ultimate enlightenment. And then here kind of text deals with the what are the benefits and advantages of having this kind of awakening mind or altruistic mind. Continue with the reading on page 80, last sentence of this long paragraph here. The benefits and advantages of training in the awakening mind in this way can be found in the questions of Viradatta Sutra. So this is the name of the text, and in that text it kind of used a metaphor of how beneficial the altruistic mind is. If the merit of generating the awakening mind were to take physical form, it would fill the whole of space and still exceed that. Were someone to fill the Buddha fields with the most precious jewels, numerous as sand grains in the Ganges, and offer them to the protector of the world, and were someone else simply to fold his hands out of respect for the awakening mind, this latter would be the superior offering, and its merit would be boundless. So you can see the comparative kind of understanding here. If this the merit of awakening mind has a shape or physical form, even the entire space, space being limitless, would be too small, and if it has a shape or form. And another example here, if you offered as an offering to Buddha field precious jewels, treasures equal to the numbers of the sand grains of the Ganges river, it's like kind of unlimited, but that would be nothing, when you just fold your hand and respect, awakening mind. So you can see here kind of comparison. And again, this would not be easy to understand because here it is talking about, the qualities of Buddha's mind. When we talk about, we use these expressions of wheel of ornament of, Buddha's body, speech, and mind. So here, when you have some understanding of Buddha's qualities of mind or consciousness or thought, then you will have some sense of, the extensiveness of, these qualifications, or the breadth of this, the depth of these, qualifications of Buddha's mind or consciousness. So understanding this kind of, having this kind of understanding is extremely kind of crucial in generating one's own faith or trust or belief in Buddhahood or enlightenment.
대단 문배 장주기 있으니 산지 그루와 자오 제 셈멤버를 개발이노 제 셰바타로 서와다 에 셈게라다 멤버 장주기 셈든 에 주바 장주기 셈이 베나네 멤버 장주기 셈제 르데킬로 주바 장주기 셈데 르에 자와를 주바 아니면 퍼진투 다 지기 바기 장주기 세바기다 냠는 깡 냠는 제데 짐베 퍼진 셰르게 퍼진 둘라 냠는 제 인사 아니 디다 예 가르소 장주기 셈 뭐 콤펠도 다 퍼진 둘라 냠는 제니 장주기 셈뭐 콤펠도 로야 탈란 진디 지기 인사 아니 퍼진 둘라 아니 냠는 제 아니 로에 자와를 주고 퍼진 둘라 냠는 제집에 아니 자왈 낸데긴 지라 아니 주바 장주기 셈 세세 또 sigdwa oda tindela tei junjunala rotan roa I chidar shebaje tijin kepan dingi jerarim shi shebajas ani roan de sebe donde gelo a tende janju ki sempain chimbo lab chimbo jinde cheala ani pe tendi jida susikula kena chimar nyambaji kebaina monsem chadiore tati 이 소소 끼알라 직파기 소소라 에 기루인바 하고 보니 아니 냠는지나 띠끼들이 딱 오니 직장주기 셈라 아니 파인통 오니 로아니베거니 퍼진두기 냠는지 또 세네니 주돔 안 띠기들랑 또 세네니 배 냠는지네니 장주기 셈라 매바 순진은 도스제바이나 죽숨 차고 셈데 와다 이 누가라 디 오네 꽤 전부 차로 나한테 강가로니 아주 두둑 주고 미 카체비니 이제니 아니 렘 때마다도 니저 삼다 아니 장주기 셈 삼다 누 세나 니만 인간인데 아니 비 장주기 셈기 숨비 루인 불교 때문에 개회 철린 직잡기나 이 차장 장주기 셈기 짐베 가와차고 그 미스바 손음 랍체부사고 와다 디 다 지기나 아주 강가 로라다 수수 대화식인데 뭐고세나 라틀리 잡아나지 용그리 있으데 내 기브제나 바긴다 겨울음식이 아니 배 간쟁기 아니 배 라진 강 숨구도 숨긴다 와다 디 숨긴서 말해 뭐야 있다 뭐배 집 바가를 뭐에 내수도 템베 가난 거래 디 에네베 가라서 도스치네 아 이치치 가서 툭툭 냠는지 도스치기나 에네 칼에 로라 그라지 레그로와 진nep칭도 도스 레그로마도 소소 유니체 모아체 에네 에지 유레 키그리즘 슬라베나 디 갈두르 디오해요 말이 오다 라마게 숨긴데 니 소나진 빼지기 중게 템바나진지 에네 랑게 베즈제데 빼 미스베 개침부 차대요 보다 뚝시나 진 랍시도와 진 지진지 랍스니 요에던 리스도와 슈발라 땐 자와님 되게 말아 고 연되게와 와다 제상 딘리 빼지니 숨긴데당 라메 숨긴데 에네 셈라 냐르지 소슨 베즈제나 셈라칼레 랑기로한테 용도가라 와다 진렙된 주 와다티 개침버리
Page 81 the compendium of the training says the aspiration of the awakening mind is the resolution to become enlightened, so this mind is attained by wishing for it. The quote from this text compendium of training is defining from the two different types of altruistic mind or awakening mind, as you know, first one being aspiring altruistic mind, and second engaging altruistic mind. Aspiring altruistic mind is the resolution to become enlightenment. Or it says this mind is attained by wishing for it. And while the second one, engaging altruistic mind, is actually not only kind of wishing, but you are actually in the process of action, and that is, in the process of implementing practice of six perfections. So in Shantideva's text, A Guide to the Bodhisattvas, Shantideva mentioned the same thing. The first, types of awakening mind, or aspiration, awakening mind is thought or desire of wanting to go. It's just simply a thought. While the second, engaging, is the actual kind of act of walking. Once so it begins with the aspiring altruistic mind, generating a strong wish or desire. How can I attain this altruistic mind? And then with that thought kind of generated, maybe you can receive your vows, and then engage, even just kind of at the level of mind through visualizations. One can move on to the actual engaging of the engaging altruistic mind. And so this kind of practice could be extremely beneficial in our day-to-day life practice. When you get up in the morning, start your day, just generate this kind of thought of becoming enlightenment and aspiration, awakening mind, and then whatever activities that you do for the entire day, it could becomes the virtuous activities, sort of accompanied by awakening mind. And it can also have an immense way to immense accumulations of positive merits. And with that kind of intention and spending days and days, one could attain, as we hear in the oral kind of lineages of great masters, you will have a happiness in your palm even if you don't want it. So what they are saying is something realistic, practical, and this is also implementing the advices and instructions of the teacher is the way of how we receive what we commonly call blessings. When we say blessings in this kind of context, there should be some responses from your part in order to make blessings really a blessing. So when you look at the literal meaning of this Tibetan word chinlap, which is translated usually as a blessing, it consists of two words, and it has a connotations of having some kind of transformation, changes through kind of getting something. So what you are getting is the instructions and teachings, and relying on that teaching and instructions, there should be response from your side, action. And when you follow the instructions through your action, and then there will be a transformation, and that is what we mean by truly blessed by the teachings. So it requires some kind of responsibility from your side. Yes, we'll take a break here.